Hello, Chisom here, and this is Challenges Men Face in Marriage Part 2. Did I do two both sides? Part 2, right? If you haven't watched the Part 1, do go back after this time out and watch it. Or better still, you can still just go back and watch it, then come back and watch this one because it will make it will flow, right? So I am a YouTuber based in Nigeria, you're in Nigeria, and I make videos about men, dating advice, blogging, and my business, personal things, and relationship tips as well. Okay, so if you're here for the tips on the challenges I have discovered in the line of my work and in my experience that most men have in marriages, and of course they hardly talk about, then this is the right place to be, right? Welcome back. Right, so let's get straight into the conversation. On the last video, we discussed certain challenges that men have, so I'm going to continue in the series. We ended where we said most men do not know how to live to cleave, right? That's just a term that says, live to cleave is a Bible, expression that just means, a man should leave his wife, should leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, right? So if a man is not able, in this sense, able to make every other person a third voice, make every other person less important than his wife, that's what I mean by not being able to live to cleave. Now, two things play out. If the man is still someone who maybe when he was single, used to take major advices, opinions, advices generally from someone, maybe a sister, brother, older, younger, parents, simply mentor, or whoever, right? And he depends solely on what they tell him to do on certain occasions, then that man is going to have a big issue in marriage, because it also means that how he treats his wife will always have to pass through the approval of that person or those set of people. Another part of not being able to live to cleave is that certain men sadly put women on a pedestal, like they make it look like women are always a prize to pursue. Women are always their motivation to be or to please. They hardly do please themselves. They want to please a woman, whether it's their mom, whether it's a girl out there they want to impress, and they have gotten so used to it that even now that they've chosen the one that they want to get married to, they are still going to want to inconvenience themselves to please a girl out there, inconvenience themselves. You just find them that they can't say no to request when it comes from a female, right? Even if the female is an outsider, it doesn't even matter whether that person is a family member, but they just believe that as long as the woman that is asking this, even when it's to the detriment of his marriage, and his immediate family, now you will see him doing everything he can just to please the person. That kind of man is going to have challenges with his wife, wondering whether she is important in the scheme of things, and wondering whether they can build a home with that kind of third party interference, right? Another major challenge I see most men battle with a lot is inability to learn to share. This is also very common with people who are already in their 30s or so, or maybe into their 40s, who have never been married. They have gotten so used to taking decisions by themselves and listening to themselves and executing by themselves that when they get married, what they mostly do is to dish out orders sometimes, right? And in fact, this is not even an age thing. I think I've even seen people who are a bit younger in that sense who also battle with this, right? So they also discover that when it comes to opinion, communicating, sharing their fears and all that, they are holding back, right? They are holding back their emotions, how they feel. If they even like something that their wife have done genuinely, you will see them struggle with telling her. Someone say, if you tell her now, you might get into her head. She might just feel, she might become all kinds of things, and then you see them holding back and remembering all the beer parlor talks, all the things that boys, men, and some women talk about not telling your wife everything, for instance. So you see them not sharing, they hold back, even they have business deals they don't tell their wives, even to appreciate a meal a wife made, you see them just holding back, and the woman will start wondering whether, whether what she does makes sense, whether she's noticed at all, whether she is, relevant to this man's life. So learning to share is something that is really key. Remember, in the first video, we had talked about the fact that open communication is at the base of intimacy in any marriage, in any relationship. So all these challenges are mostly fallout of a lack of open communication. The next thing I see a lot of men struggle with a lot is regaining trust. Now, regaining trust means, either because the trust has already been affected, right, or have been lost. Now, if in the case where, a woman doesn't feel safe, either because the man is not able to stand up to protect her, from third parties, maybe family members, maybe, certain situations, like maybe maybe dues are due, some things are due for payment, and he's not able to afford it, that she also doesn't have enough earning power, and especially when she feels maybe he's the reason why she's not earning to support, and he's taking the whole bulk of the finances, and then things come up where she and or the whole family is almost about to be disgraced. The woman will feel so unsafe being with that kind of man, and we start questioning, whether he can trust him to, take care of their home, and protect her and the children, of course, including himself. Also, another aspect of trust is when maybe if the man had, had sexual affairs, with another woman outside the marriage. Now, this is the one that is the hardest to regain trust with. So you see a lot of men, because it has happened maybe once or, maybe multiple times, and there is a lot of tension in the marriage. The woman is, depending on her mental state at the time, which would not be normal, he's battling either on how to pacify her, how to get her to forgive him. That's if he's found out, in most cases, or he's battling with covering up that aspect of marriage, and then the woman gets clue, because women always know, right? I think it's just a human thing. We always know that when something is wrong, and he is battling to cover up when she feels she has a clue. Then it becomes, there's nothing he says that she would hold with value. There's nothing he says or wants to do that she might support fully. Then a lot of men see themselves struggling with this years in, year out. Even if the marriage, even if they stay together in that marriage will not hold together like it should, even if they decide to stay all through their life managing it. But major challenge I see a lot of men go through is managing their finances when it comes to what he brings and what she brings. Most are not bold enough to talk about it and discuss it without coming off like a sissy. So that will be in the next part.